In the 12th century, during a time when knowledge was spreading across the Muslim world and into Europe, a remarkable man emerged from Spain. His name was Abu Abdallah Muhammad ibn Abdallah ibn Idris al-Qurtubi al-Hassani, known to history simply as Al-Idrisi. Born in Ceuta in 1099 CE and educated in the great city of Cordova, Al-Idrisi became one of the most influential geographers, botanists, and scientists of the medieval world. His works bridged cultures, combined languages, and laid the foundations of geography and science for centuries to come. Today, we journey through his extraordinary life and lasting contributions to human knowledge. Al-Idrisi was born in Ceuta, a port city on the northern coast of Morocco, during a period when Muslim Spain was a vibrant hub of culture and learning. His family traced its lineage to the Prophet Muhammad, giving him not only prestige, but also access to scholarly circles. As a young man, he moved to Cordova, then one of the greatest intellectual centers of Europe. Cordova's libraries, schools, and scholars exposed him to the works of Greek philosophers, earlier Muslim scientists, and Indian texts. By the time he completed his studies, Al-Idrisi had mastered not only the Arabic sciences, but also Latin, Greek, Persian, Syriac, and even Berber languages. This multilingual ability would later help him compile one of the most important geographical encyclopedias of the Middle Ages. Travels and exposure to the world. Like many scholars who spent most of their lives in one place, Al-Idrisi was a traveler. He journeyed widely across the Islamic world and beyond, exploring North Africa, Spain, the Mediterranean, and even reaching into France and the British Isles. These travels allowed him to gather first-hand knowledge of geography, plants, people, and cultures. Everywhere he went, he recorded observations, spoke with local scholars, and collected information. This method of combining fieldwork with scholarship made his work unique and reliable. One of the most surprising turns in his life was his move to Palermo, Sicily, where he entered the court of the Christian king Roger II of Sicily. At first glance, this might seem unusual, a Muslim scholar working closely with a European Christian ruler. But Roger II admired learning, and he surrounded himself with scholars of different backgrounds. For Al-Idrisi, this was both an opportunity and a challenge. The Muslim biographers of the time often criticized him for working under a Christian patron, yet his decision led to the creation of some of the most groundbreaking works of medieval science. Al-Idrisi's first passion was botany. In his great work, Kitab al-Jami-li-Sifat Ashtat al-Nabatat, he compiled knowledge of medicinal plants from earlier Greek, Indian, Persian, and Arabic sources. But he did not stop there. He added his own original observations, collecting plants never described before. For each plant, he noted its medicinal properties, its local and scientific names, its use in different cultures. What made his work unique was that he provided plant names in 6 different languages: Syriac, Greek, Persian, Hindi, Latin, and Berber, making his encyclopedia accessible to scholars across the known world. This multilingual approach was revolutionary. Through his books, doctors and pharmacists gained access to a new range of treatments and medicines, greatly enriching the field of medicine. Although botany was important, Al-Idrisi is best remembered for his contributions to geography. Under the patronage of King Roger II, he produced one of the most detailed maps of the medieval world. He created a planisphere, a giant map engraved on a disc of pure silver. This was not a decorative item. It was a scientific masterpiece. The map displayed continents, rivers, mountains, trade routes, and cities with remarkable accuracy for the time. Alongside the map, Al-Idrisi compiled his most famous book, Nuzhat, al-Mushtaq fi Iqtiraq al-Afaq, also known as the Book of Roger. This was no ordinary book. It was a geographical encyclopedia covering not only the Muslim world, but also Asia, Africa, and Western Europe. It included descriptions of the climate and soil of each region, the customs and cultures of different peoples, trade routes and economic activities, political and natural features of the land. This work remained a standard reference in both the East and West for centuries. After the Book of Roger, Al-Idrisi continued his research. He later compiled another even larger encyclopedia, Rod Unas wa Nuzhat al-Nafs, Pleasure of Men and Delight of Souls, also called Kitab al-Mamalik wa al-Masalik. In this book, he expanded his descriptions of cities, rivers, mountains, and cultures. He added more detail to economic geography, showing how agriculture, trade, and natural resources shaped societies. Al-Idrisi was not only a geographer and botanist. He also wrote about fauna and zoology, describing animals and their habitats, therapeutics, linking medicine to plants and geography, culture and economics, making his works an early attempt at social science. His writings reveal a mind that sought to connect different sciences into a single vision of the world. Al-Idrisi's influence was enormous. His geographical works were translated into Latin and became standard references in European universities. For several centuries, explorers and scholars relied on his descriptions. Even 600 years later, European scholars like Abu al-Fazl, in his Aini Akbari, made heavy use of Al-Idrisi's works. His method of combining field observations with scholarly research inspired future generations of scientists. Today, Al-Idrisi is remembered as one of the greatest geographers of the medieval era, a man who united cultures and advanced human knowledge at a time when the world was still largely unexplored. He collected plants, charted rivers, mapped mountains, and described the cultures of distant lands. He built a bridge of knowledge between civilizations, leaving behind books and maps that guided humanity for centuries. Though some of his contemporaries saw him as a renegade, history remembers him as a pioneer of science and geography, a man whose vision of the world was far ahead of his time. And so, the name of Al-Idrisi still shines as a symbol of curiosity, scholarship, and the timeless human desire to understand the world around us.